Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to debug a Tekla plugin without having to restart Tekla over and over again. This is a huge benefit because restarting Tekla is very time consuming. This is still time consuming somewhat, but it's a lot better than restarting Tekla every time. So we're going to show you how to do that. I looked online. I didn't see a video on how to do this, so I thought I would create one for the benefit of the community, so hopefully it helps you out. The first thing you need to do is need to create what's called a post-build event, okay? A post-build event. So let's check that out. Let's go to the project. Let's go to, this is the name of my project, test. It's a test plugin. And we need to go to build event, and we need to go here in post build event command line. So what is this doing? Every time we build a project, we need to copy over the relevant DLLs into a specific folder location so that Tekla can pick it up. So that folder location, let me take you there. It is, in this case, let us go to Tekla structures. In mine, let's start at the very beginning. I like to save my things on the D drive. In your particular case, you might have it set up in the C drive. So if I go to the D drive, and in your case C drive, you click on Program Files, Tekla Structures. You must do this on every version that you're targeting. So in my particular case, I'm only doing it for 22. If you have various versions, remember to do exactly these steps in each version. Let's go to 22, environments, and I'll give you all these steps in a blog post so you don't have to actually copy anything down. Common extensions. And in my particular case, the project is called Test WPF Beam Plugin. So if I go back to the build event, basically what I'm doing is I want the DLL relevant to this project copied over to program files, Tekla structures, and the version of Tekla, which is 22, environments, common extension, the name of the project. I want everything copied there, and this bit of code does exactly that. So if you look here, the time is 8:07. Let us go back to the project. You can see it was last modified at 8 p.m. and let us build a project, and hopefully the event will run and I can prove to you that the relevant DLL has been copied over to Tekla. Not sure why it's taking so long. I think it's already run actually. So let's go here. No, it hasn't run. So it is taking some time. Let's run it again. Maybe I didn't press the right button. Okay, the build has succeeded at 8:08 p.m. Let us go back. It's still not uploaded. Okay. I think it's because nothing has changed. We need to rebuild the solution. Yes, we've rebuilt it 8:08. Now if we go back, we should see 8:08. Yes, it has rebuilt. Now let me start up Tekla, and one more thing before we do that. After you create a build event, you need to create what's called a reloadable plugin, and I can paste to you the links. So the way you do it, or you should do it, you should go to your common, according to your relevant environment, Tekla structures 22. Let me just double check the location. It's environments, common, macros, and this is a modeling macro, so I do it in the modeling. And you create it here. I've already created it. reloadable plugins. So if I open this up, this is the code that you need to create. I guess you could, there are many ways you could do it. I mean, you just need to create in this folder location a file, call it reloadable plugins. Doesn't matter what you call it. Make sure you have an image with the same name as the file that you create and put it in there. And you basically copy over this information there. So, I mean, you could go to new and create a new file. And let's create a C# file. Okay. And then you paste all that stuff in that we pasted before. And now you have to save this file. Save as. And then you navigate to that folder location I told you before. Let's go to D drive, program files, Tekla structures 22. And I believe was environments. Yes, it was. Common, macros, modeling, and just overwrite this. Oh, in your case, you're doing a fresh save. So that's where you save it. It's very important that you have this reloadable plugin there. And make sure you have an image. If you don't have an image, a BMP file, which is like an image file, as far as I know, and save it there so that when you start Tekla, you'll be able to find it. All right, so what have we done? We've done two things. We've created a build event, and we've got our reloadable plugin working. In my case, I've already got it working, so I'm going to stop. But this is the plugin you have. Now let's start Tekla and let's show you how to debug. All right, so we've got Tekla here, and we want, I'm going to grab a full license. Let us proceed. All full license in use. That can't be right. Let me sort this out. Sorry about that. One of our guys just released the licenses now. Let us click OK. We're going to use a full license. And just bear with me. Tekla is loading right now. Here we are. This is a model I created before. It's just loading. I'm going to pause the video. All right, guys, we're back in business, and this is the plugin that I wrote, the Hello World plugin. It just creates a beam, nothing special. That's all it does. So, you know, we can change the profile of the beam. Let's change it to something else. I don't know. Let's change it to this one. Yeah, that's good enough. Modify, and you can see it should have modified. Should be now a T-beam, which is great. Okay. Anyway, this is the plugin. Let us now try to debug this plugin. Let's go back to Visual Studio and let us add a breakpoint. Let's add the breakpoint where we ask for input definitions, and we need to add a debugger to Tekla. So the way you do that is go to debug, attach to process, and we want to attach it to Tekla. Click here and we attach it to Tekla. So now when we run this plugin, it should hit this breakpoint. So if we go back here, let us click on this button here. This is where you will find the plugin. I've called it BK Beam, stands for, that's my name, BK. And let's run it. And as you can see here, it hits the breakpoint. And now you can debug, which is great. Next, 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 or you can continue as you wish. It's asking for 2 points, so let's click 2 points. Great. And let us continue. And as you can see here, the plugin has done something. If we double click this, it should bring up the menu, and you can definitely create some profile, modify, okay, and you can see that that beam was created. We created a Z using a Z profile, which is great. So we can debug and it works. But now let's suppose we want to make a change to our code. So the first thing we need to do is we need to stop the debugger, detach all. Let's make the change. I'm going to say, Ben, we can now debug without restarting Tekla. That's the change we want. Let's build this. And remember, when we're building it, the DLL is being copied into that location in Tekla, in the Tekla folder structure. So let's do that. All right, was successfully copied. That must be the build event here, right there. And now after rebuilding, we've copied over the DLL, we need to run that reloadable plugin. So that plugin should be available here, reload. I call it reload. This is the picture I drew, really. I didn't draw it, but I copied it over and wrote the word reload. And you can see the dialog has been reloaded. Now we have to go back to Visual Studio and then attach that debugger again. It's a little cumbersome, but it's a lot better than having to restart Tekla, which is a real pain. Great, everything looks like it's worked. So now if we put the breakpoint here, let's see what happens. Let's run the plugin, BKB, click here. Okay, it's asking us to pick the first point and the second point, and it hits the breakpoint. Moreover, this is the new breakpoint. And let us continue. And I think it's done. It's run the command. I was expecting to see something written here. I don't see it written here, but the command, we have proven that we can debug and debug using that new text. So hopefully this video has been helpful for you. Hopefully it should show you how you can debug a Tekla plugin without having to continuously restart Tekla. The way you do it is with a post-build event. Then secondly, you need to run that reloadable plugin and attach a debugger, and it should all work. I'll provide all the documentation that's important for you to be able to do this in the video description or in a blog post. I hope this has been helpful for you. I apologize for the video dragging on, but I think it's helpful if you see the problems and difficulties as I face it, so that when it happens to you, you will be able to manage just as I managed here. Thanks for watching. This is Ben. I work for a business called Tech1. Thank you for watching.